Hello and welcome to WinSQL Online Tutorial. My name is Casey and today I'm going to talk about the offline backup and restore feature in WinSQL. The offline backup feature is quite different from the typical backup utility that comes bundled with most databases. Therefore, it's important that you understand what this feature offers and all the pros and cons before using it. First, I am going to tell you the advantages of using the feature as compared to a native backup utility. The most important benefit is that you can back up one type of database, such as Oracle, and restore the data in a different type, such as IBM, DB2, or Microsoft SQL Server. Another advantage of using offline backup is in a scenario when you cannot use the native backup. For example, often ISPs offer website hosting with MySQL or Microsoft SQL Server as part of the package. Since the machine is actually shared by other websites, you cannot create a backup on a tape drive or on the server's local hard disk. Using offline backup is an ideal solution for such environments. Moreover, you can also back up databases that do not have a native backup utility. Lastly, this method allows you to back up selected tables rather than the entire database. Now, let's talk about some disadvantages. First, the offline backup in WinSQL is significantly slower than the native backup. Second, it does not back up every object in the database. For example, it won't back up information for user-defined data types or user information such as logins and passwords. Let's see how this feature works. First, connect to your desired database. For this example, I will connect to a MySQL database. Click Backup under the Tools menu to bring up the offline backup wizard. You can either back up all objects or selectively choose the objects you wish to back up. Specify a path for the backup. Finally, click the Backup button to proceed. Once the backup is complete, you will see the newly created file. If I like, I can even create a backup job based on a schedule. To do that, I select Scheduler from the Tools menu. Create a new task. Give it a name. Select the task type to run offline backup. And specify a local file name to hold the backup. Once the task has been created, I create a schedule. Now, let's see how to restore the database. Before restoring the data, connect to the target database. In this example, I'm going to connect to a MS SQL Server database and show you how to restore a backup created for a MySQL into an MS SQL Server database. Select Restore from the Tools menu to bring up the Database Restore wizard. Click the Browse button to select the backup file. Notice that since I am restoring a MySQL database into SQL Server, WinSQL displays a warning message saying that it won't restore any views, stored procedures, or triggers. This warning wouldn't be there if I was restoring this to the same database type. The next screen displays a list of objects that will get restored. Again, I can either restore all the objects or selectively choose the objects that I want. I could also extract individual objects to a temp location rather than importing them into the database by selecting this menu item. Since I am restoring the objects in a different RDBMS, WinSQL displays the screen where I can modify the design of all the target tables, allowing me to change the field name and data type. This is helpful if the data types on the target database do not match with the source. The order in which these objects gets restored is also important. For example, if the orders table has a foreign key referring to the customer table, it is important that WinSQL restores records for the customer before restoring orders. This screen allows users to change the order of a restoration. I can click the up and down arrow buttons to change the restoration order of any table. Next, I can choose to drop any existing tables before restoring. If this option is not selected, WinSQL will append the new records to the tables. Otherwise, it will drop the table and recreate it. Optionally, I can specify any pre-transfer or post-transfer scripts. Finally, I click the Restore button that will start inserting data into the tables. So, to summarize, I just showed you a quick way to back up objects in your database using a method that works against any database. This feature is very useful if you are not able to use the native tools provided by your back-end database. It is also very useful if you want to restore data from one RDBMS vendor to a different one.